Hello, welcome. My name is Juliana and I am a registered therapeutic counselor in Canada. I'm also a quantum human design specialist and I would say I'm a seeker. I'm always looking for information and very passionate about the ascension and the evolutionary tract that humanity is currently on. Today I really want to talk to you about something I call the ecology of uniqueness. This video is for anyone who wants to understand why our uniqueness is so important and how our uniqueness impacts the health of ourselves and the systems, meaning our countries, our families, our communities that we live in. So my journey, I worked in forestry for quite a while in my younger years. And one of the things that I learned about the forest, about our ecosystem, is that what makes up a healthy ecosystem is when each species is allowed and able to fully be itself. So a really good example is it's a popular story, at least in my world, of what happened in Yellowstone National Park when the farmers close to the park were getting upset because the wolves were coming down from the park and they were eating their cattle, their livestock. And so what happened, this was about in the 1920s, 30s, what happened is that the government put out a call to cull all of the wolves. Now the wolves also, along with eating the cattle and the livestock, the wolves also hunted the elk in Yellowstone. And so what happened was when they culled all the wolves, the elk population exploded because the elk population no longer had a natural predator to keep the population under control. So the elk, it exploded. And what happened was when the elk population exploded, the elk began feeding on the willow, eating a lot of willow, right? You kind of think, so they're eating willow. There's a lot of willow out there. Well, the thing is that when they ate all of the willow, this impacted the beaver population because the beavers in Yellowstone used the willow to build their beaver dams. And so when there were no willow to build these dams, the beaver population declined. Now, beaver dams are really important to the ecology of an ecosystem as well because they dam water. They'll often keep the health of the water up, so like they stop silt and mud from coming into different parts of the water. The willow as well, I'll go back there for just a second. When you eat, I'm not going to eat the willow, but maybe for medicine, but that's about it. When you remove a lot of shrubbery along banks, this also destabilizes the soil. So there was soil destabilization and then not the natural beaver dams working with the water. And now this would impact the health of the water, the health of the fish population, which then the health of the fish population would then impact the bears, the eagles, and any other species that fed off of the salmon. And so if the salmon population declined, then that would impact the bear's food, the eagle's food. That would also impact the health of the water. So what they discovered when they reintroduced the wolves into Yellowstone, which I think was in the 90s, 1990, around there, what they noticed was the elk population decreased. The amount of beaver dams in Yellowstone went from 1 to 9. And so we know from that that would create better water quality, better soil quality, and then would thus impact not only the eagles and the bears, but also all of the little creepy crawlies, all of the bugs, all of everything in the ecosystem, all of the bugs, all of the mites, all of the worms. It would impact squirrels and chipmunks. It impacts everybody. And so this is very closely related to a human system. So bear with me here. So what happens is that in family systems theory, which is a psychological theory that I study and practice, it's that when a family system is open, the open system supports the individual to be fully expressed for who they are. Right? So I'll say that again. When a system is open, meaning healthy, the system supports the individual to be fully expressed for who they are, even if they're a little weird or they don't quite fit in or they have different thoughts and beliefs. This is what an open family system does. When a family system is closed, the idea is that the individual has to work for the family. So the individual has to push down their thoughts, their beliefs, their innate behaviors and how they want to show up in the world. And they have to put on behaviors and family rules in order to maintain the rules and the structure of the family, the closed system. So how does this all relate to human design? So what happens here is that with human design, we get given a map. And I'll tell you from my experience, it's moving up to 6 years now, my experience as a therapist, it can be really challenging for an individual to accept that they're different. To accept that they don't fit in is actually a massive gift, and it's where their magic lies. It can be really challenging for someone who goes, I'm the black sheep of the family. There must be something wrong with me. Or I'm too sensitive. The rest of my family or the rest of the world isn't as sensitive as me. There must be something wrong with me. Or I get really angry when people interrupt me. Or why doesn't anyone listen to me? I try and speak and no one listens to me. It can be really challenging for the individual and for me to, as the therapist, to support people, to guide them to reclaim those qualities as gifts. Because our world tells us that if we don't fit in, then there's something wrong with us, that we should fit in to the system, right? That we should work for the benefit of the system. Now, humans, we are a part of the earth. We're carbon-based life forms. Our bodies come from the earth, and when we die, our bodies go back to the earth. And so while there's this some kind of feeling sometimes that humans are separate from the earth, we're not. We're completely the same. We are living in conjunction with the earth. So if humans are a part of the earth and we live in conjunction with the earth, then wouldn't it make sense that we are meant to express ourselves uniquely, just like in an ecosystem where each species must be able to do what they're here to do, otherwise it impacts the health of the entire ecosystem. So it is incredibly important on this ascension path that we're on and on this evolutionary tract that each human gets the opportunity to express themselves authentically in who they are. Now, this can get tricky because humans have a lot of emotions, beliefs, and all of those things wrapped up in what we think another person should be doing, right? But we're just going to stick with this one thing. Each human is meant to fully express themselves to the unique beautiful, magical nature that they are. So, this is tricky, right? I was just saying this is tricky in a therapeutic session. But what I've discovered is that with the human design chart, with the map, essentially, that human design gives us to look at how we are mechanically designed to operate in the world, it gives people such permission. So human design draws right on this. Everything is about differentiation, which means how can you be fully yourself while in relationship to others, right? We are meant to be different while in connection. We are meant to be uniquely ourselves while in connection. So, if you are struggling with feeling like you belong, if you're struggling with feeling like you're weird or the black sheep in the family, or like no one really gets you, or you're too sensitive, and other things haven't worked, I would really support you, I would invite you to check out what your human design chart is, and then take that in to your rediscovery of yourself. Take that into potentially healing sessions or therapy sessions or coaching sessions where you are looking at, okay, who am I designed to actually be? And how can I begin untangling the web of beliefs that have me believe that I am not meant to be who I am? So, I really hope that just gave you a little piece to think about. Think about why your magical self is so vital to this world. We are on this trajectory on this planet right now where every single human here has something to offer. Right? There just might be stuff standing in the way. And so this is how I work with people, is I draw on their human design chart and I use all of my tools from my therapeutic training to help them reconnect to the truth of who they are so that this planet can thrive, so that our children can thrive, and so that humanity can evolve to the level of which we're already headed. So if you liked this video, please like, share, or subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.